First up, I want to introduce Congressman Frank Wolf, who served in the U.S. House of Representatives for 34 years, representing the 10th District of the state of Virginia. He is the author of the International Religious Freedom Act and has recently been appointed as a USCIRF Commissioner.
I'll be very brief. One, China is opposing every faith group. Catholic Church, we saw what took place to Cardinal Zen last month, 90 years old. Every time Cardinal Zen would come to America, he would come by my office. He's 90 years old. And can you imagine what a prison sentence would be for Cardinal Zen? Hong Kong, I watched the transfer of Hong Kong when 25 years ago, when Patton, who's still alive in England, transferred it over. There was great hope. So now we see what's taking place. Back in the late 90s, I slipped into Tibet. In Tibet, even then, but even much worse now, there is cultural genocide. Hundreds of Tibetan monks and nuns have poured kerosene on their bodies. Across from the Patala, where the Dalai Lama used to live, is a open field ground now with regard to jets and MiGs and things like that. Lhasa is nothing more than almost a Chinese city with little ghettos that have bulldozed those large areas. So it's cultural genocide with regard to the Tibet. And we know with regard to the Uyghurs. And I want to cover something that Logan mentioned, which is very important. Speaking for myself, when she mentioned hick vision. But we know what's taking place, and I appreciate what Bob and Logan and others have done with regard to the Uyghurs. It is actual genocide. It is actual genocide, and we see the tremendous suffering of the Uyghurs. With regard to the Falun Gong, many of you may remember, some of you do not. Looks like a kind of a younger crowd. There's a good friend of mine, Harry Wu. Harry used to come by. You remember Scott, our office, came by and showed me pictures of people who were being executed by the Chinese government. They would literally get them out, take them out of the prisons, take their blood type, take them out, put a bayonet in their back, brace them, and then shoot them and take their kidneys out as they were waiting to go in and transfer. The Falun Gong has gone through a very difficult problem. If you read the Freedom House report, you can see what's taking place. And I think the kidney issue is also impacting on the Uyghur community. The last thing I want to speak, and I'm not speaking for USCIRF, what I was appointed to, I'm speaking as an individual for myself. When Logan mentioned hick vision, how many cameras?
967, I think. Yeah, 967. Oh, mosques.
No, but how? Thousands.
400 million surveillance.
400 million cameras. Hick vision. Hick Vision has a lobby effort here in this town. A lobby effort here in this town. How can you possibly be lobbying for somebody who's been involved with regard to genocide? And I urge all of you to read the book by Peter Schweitzer. How many of you read the book? One, Bob. I know Bob, but Peter Schweitzer, called Red-Handed. No one should represent, whoever has been a congressman, senator, or congressman, or a high-level official should represent any nation that is a CPC nation, country particularly concerned. When we did the legislation, that's what they call the CP designation. And so the very fact, doesn't it break your heart that there are high-ranking former officials, congressmen, and others that are now representing him. So I welcome you. It's good to see so many young people. The church needs to be involved in this issue. We need the church to wake up, the church in the United States to wake up. And I think this is very important. I pray, and I'm going to end on this. In 1985, Congressman Chris Smith and I went to Romania. And what I saw in Romania was very difficult, very brutal. What they were doing to the Catholic Church. I remember Bishop Belder that we met with in the Protestant Church and what they were doing. I came back and I prayed for the end of the Ceausescu administration. And every night I would pray. In 1989, I remember seeing, when I was buying a TV set for my wife for Christmas time, the fall of the Ceausescu government. I jumped in an airplane and went and saw firsthand. I pray every night for the change of the Chinese government, whereby the Chinese people of all faiths, of all denominations, can live in peace and freedom. They are wonderful people, but we need to wake up the church. We all need to be active. And we also need a law or an executive order that prohibits anybody who's had a high-level position in this administration or any administration who served in Congress to represent any country that is a country of particular concern. Thank you very, very much.